Happy Jackie Robinson Day, everybody.
Happy Jackie Robinson.
Happy Jackie Robinson Day.
For Foster, I speak for him. He's probably more so celebrating the anniversary of the Titanic sinking, rather.
Wow.
Thank you for that. The studio audience agrees with me.
That was for Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
Not.
Not the fault of Titanic. No.
It was a good movie. It brought us Celine Dion song. So
you didn't see that movie? No, I didn't either.
What?
That's not a what?
You didn't miss anything,
dude. I mean,
we know what happened. It's a wow.
Nah, that's not a what.
It's not a what, but that movie's from '97. Y'all should know some. Even if you only watched it one time.
I never watched it.
Yeah.
History.
I know.
All you gotta do is open the history. All you have to do is pay attention to history class.
But it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It was a story inside the Titanic sinking.
Right.
Man, why you watching the movie? It's like, let's just hurry up and drown these people. We know the boat sank.
Right.
Kill them all. Let's leave.
But it wasn't about the boat sinking. It was about a
love
what do I say? A love. Yeah, it was a love story. A rich white woman. She fell in love with a broke dude, and it was a come up. It was a come up
We've
story.
seen Whitney Houston and Bobby when they first started. We don't need to see that.
No, that's something different.
That's way different because
They was both broke. Yeah.
Nah, when they met, they weren't both broke.
Yeah.
Bobby didn't.
They might have got broke together.
Bobby never had Whitney money.
Nah, a lot of people didn't have Whitney money though.
Okay,
he wasn't broke. He wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio sneaking on a boat.
He was broke to her.
He wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio sneaking on a boat.
Now we together, Bobby. Now we got $300 million and $1. Come on, bro.
Nah, it probably
It wasn't that much.
The king of R&B.
Yeah. It probably was. It was probably like Bobby. It probably was like Bobby. We together. Now we got my 300 and your $10 million. Probably was like that.
Yeah, man, you doing too much.
You still couldn't come in my house and without taking off your shoes if you bringing just $10 million to my 3.
That's a bit extra, man. You doing
well that all depends what kind of man Bobby is and what he go for.
If I got 300 million and you got 10, you call yourself bringing it. You're not the king or queen of R&B unless it's ribs and barbecue. That's it.
That's a strong take. A strong take, Joe. You starting off real hot. I don't know where to go with that, but we're gonna try to figure this thing out. It's been a long ride this NBA season. 6 months of June giving fresh hot takes just like that. We started off questioning the defense from Detroit Pistons, and now look at them. Probably the best defensive team in the East, arguably, allegedly.
That's all.
Maybe.
That's all. JB. Congratulations, JB.
Depends on which game they're playing. They turn it on and turn it off a lot.
Yeah. Also, we started this NBA season, pooping for Coop in Chicago, and now look at them. Another postseason berth. Clap it up for Chicago. Yeah.
Wait, if that's a postseason berth, then I win our Golden State bet already too, right? It's a postseason berth. That's what you're saying right here.
Uh-oh.
Clearly, I said playoff team, not postseason.
Oh, I thought the postseason was the playoffs.
No.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Tonight is a postseason game, not a playoff game.
It is postseason,
but we don't know where the stats go. So
it's just like game 163 of a Major League Baseball season. It's the postseason, but it ain't the playoffs.
That's a really
yeah. That works for you with your bet, but you just said on here it's a playoff berth.
No, I didn't.
You said postseason berth.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
another postseason berth for the Chicago Bulls. Let's see what happens. It's maybe a new dawn. Maybe something else happens this next time they play the Miami Heat in the play-in game. And we all saw the Pacers and the Bucks. We all knew they was going to get here eventually. They've done it before. We didn't expect. They didn't do anything we didn't expect, right? But a team we didn't expect to be at the top of the standings in the East, those Cleveland Cavaliers. 64 wins. Started the season, 17-0?
15, but who's counting?
I think
Obviously you are, Tate.
and I did drop a NBA fact at that point. I remember it was on this show. I said every team that started 15-0, it was only 2 other times, I believe. They all ended up in the finals. And now we got the Cavs. Now for that to make it 3-0, it starts this weekend when the playoffs start. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and kick off this show with basically telling me what was the highlight of your team's season. We can start with the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference, the team with the best record, 64 wins. Tay, what was the highlight of this season for the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Well, I'd like to start by saying with you obviously being the production manager of this broadcast, if you're organizing the show, the headliner usually go last. That's the best person in the conference, in the concert. Wow. And this person is the best person in the conference and the division. I should be going last, but I'll go first. I'm the only headliner in history to have to start my own concert out. But okay. What was the question again?
And this is exactly why the headliners stand to the last. Cleveland Cavaliers, what was the headline? Or what was the highlight of this season for you? Was this the best season in franchise history?
Not at all. And towards the end, Coach Kenny Atkinson didn't even go for the team record 66 wins because it was more important to secure the first number 1 overall seed and let your guys get rest. So, Donovan Mitchell hadn't played in over a week. Jared Allen wanted to play all 82 games, so he played like the first quarter in the last 2 or 3 games, maybe the first half and the third to last game. And the last 2 he played like a little bit in the first quarter. So, sat out Mobley, Garland. So it wasn't about that for Cleveland. It's that they looking big picture. It's hard to have just one best moment of a season when you win 64 games and you have 2 15-game win streaks and a 12-game win streak. Kind of tough. So, like, if I was just being a minimalist, I'd say all 3 win streaks were the best part of this season. But then I'd say the surprise play from Ty Jerome, the elevation of Evan Mobley, Darius Garland get back to all-star form, Donovan Mitchell being a leader and not just a scorer. And, he took a step back so other guys can take a step forward. And Kenny Atkinson being a coach that could turn around the offense. I mean, JB was a good coach. JB is a great coach, obviously. We got some Detroit Piston brethren in here who really appreciate him. But, yeah, man, so every move that Kobe Altman made during the offseason, it worked. So the entire season was my best moment.
All right. I really got to the apparently answer why he wanted to wait because he didn't have an answer. Detroit. It's been close to 20 years since you all have won a playoff series, and it's been 10 years since you all have made the playoffs, correct?
That is correct.
So I know you've got a lot of highlights, but can you narrow it down? What's the highlight of this season for the 2024-2025 Detroit Pistons?
Well, for me, it was winning game 14 in October as opposed to after January. and just realizing that, it wasn't going to be another one of those, and that we had a pretty good basketball team in comparison of what we experienced last year. So that was a highlight for me, just knowing that we had a team that was getting on the court and that was going to compete every night and was under better direction than they were last year. So I realized that early in the season.
And for me, we had a couple fun games to watch on ESPN. My favorite one to watch on ESPN was that buzzer beater that Cade had in Miami. That was a pretty pivotal game. It was about I think it was a little further than 3/4 away through the year, but I think at that point the NBA was on notice. If you were sleeping under a rock and hadn't caught wind of how good our team was, I think that buzzer beater in Miami definitely woke some people up. But a secondary one for me was the game where we played at home against Philly. This is with Embiid, Maxey, and Paul George all playing. Probably one of the last times you saw all three of those guys playing together as a whole in Philly, not in Philly, but on the Philly team. And without Cade playing, I think we blew them out. And I think that opened some eyes as well that, like, okay, Cade's not playing. Ivy was hurt by this point, and we still managed to blow them out at home on ESPN. So I think that was another culture shifting game for us as well.
Yeah, I think June. I want to come back to what you said. Yeah, last year I remember this. I remember the memes. I remember the memes from last season when you all went on those long losing streaks, and they were comparing the Lions' amount of wins to the Pistons' amount of wins. So I definitely resonate with what you said. Like, just getting away from that type of notoriety definitely got to stick out to you.
Yeah, well, we broke the franchise record of, I think, the NBA record of losses in a row last year with 28. And I remember the record was 25, and at when they lost the 25th game, Cade looked so dejected, and he said, "I just don't believe we're this bad." And then they continued to lose.
I remember.
So it's and mind you, that was me and Foster's first year covering the Pistons.
Brought a lot of good content. I tell my people all the time, losing is where you can find your best content. It helps you be your most creative. I checked in a lot with you all last season. You all had creativity in abundance.
I didn't want to be that creative, bro.
I can't even imagine at this point. I can't even imagine what we were talking about. Like,
we were talking about losing, Foster.
By the end of the year, we were completely dejected, and we're like, you know what? We're not even gonna cover these last. I think we had. Who was the guy that scored 50 points for us? Oh,
it was the guard. It was the white guard. I forgot.
Somebody no longer on the team.
Yeah, right. That's no longer in the league.
Matt Flynn.
You let a two-way player?
Malachi Flynn.
Malachi Flynn. Yes.
He scored
50 points. Like, that's crazy.
Last year we were pretty much watching the Titanic. Let's just sink this in. Let's.
Yeah. When is
bring on the water. It's over.
A sinking ship is definitely what I would characterize what I saw last year with the Pistons. But you guys are on top of the water now. You're floating, and we're going to come back to you. Maybe even floating to some other streak breaking. Headliner of this episode, as the frustrated Chicago sports fans, let's talk about the Bulls, fellas.
Tate, before they go, Tate. Please try to just not engage. We're gonna have a good show today. Zeke, Rick, you guys have the floor.
Hey man,
Tate,
I'm saying I'm rebuttaling to you, not to them. They can say whatever they're gonna say. I'm just saying I have my mute button pushed. I was already not to respond. I've performed, went backstage, packing my trailer. That's all.
Chicago, we had a lot of ups and downs this season with the Bulls.
Yeah.
You came into the season thinking about tanking and selling off pieces. Zeke, if I could quote you correctly, I can't wait till the rebuild starts.
They did start it. They started it.
Is it a rebuild or was it reshuffling?
They dipped their toe in the water, getting rid of Zach and DeMar.
Still got Vooch, man, though.
Yeah, they didn't want to get rid of Vooch. Then we got Josh Giddey, and he was kind of up and down. Then he went out. He's going up. Trajectory is up now. So
if I'm hearing you right, the most I guess the highlight of the season was the Zach LaVine trade.
Yeah. Not for me.
Whoa.
I thought
No.
once the trade happened, I was like, yes, they actually know what they want to do, about to embrace the tank, but then they didn't. They start winning.
It's up there. It's probably in the top 5. It's up there.
Top
Losing.
5.
Yeah, Zach LaVine. There's a multitude of things that we could be happy about as Bulls fans. One, maybe I'm not gonna put it in order. Montas, being that he's a potential star, there's no need to poop for Coop. We got Montas, who arguably is better than Cooper.
Arguably, I mean, you can make an argument.
Arguably, he's better than Cooper. So
Cooper hasn't played an NBA game yet. We don't know.
he's not ready. Like if you Montas has shown that next year he's arguably better than Cooper. So like, why are we tanking for a guy and we already got the guy?
So number 1 pick come up and they say, hey, we'll give you the number 1 pick from Montas. You're not trading him.
It's debatable. The point is, we got Montas.
Okay.
We cultivated a culture. You know what I'm saying? I brought that up. We got a culture now that we got rid of Zach LaVine.
Bulls culture.
Bulls culture.
Okay.
You know,
Chicago culture.
Billy D. You know what I'm saying? Billy Donovan has gotten
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Billy Donovan, might I add, has adapted to the new system NBA. Now we free flowing. Everyone's shooting threes. You know, so we got that going. We found out that Kobe White is actually an all-star. Like he is a player of the month, a legit all-star player of the month. We found out that Josh Giddey is he's better than advertised. Like we didn't expect Josh Giddey to be this good.
Yeah.
So you got those things.
Start off kind of slow. Too.
Yeah, you got those things flowing for you. And you know, I mean, unfortunately, we got in the play-in tournament, but you know, I would rather get ready for the pause button. I would rather back into the play-in. I mean, I'd rather be in the play-in that we are now instead of backing in like we would if we had Zach and Vooch and company. You know, that would have been, give me the pause button.
Yeah.
Pause. I don't think that's a pause.
No,
You take that one to court.
you avoided that one.
Okay, I meandered around that one. All right.
Yeah.
But we're going to use our favorite word in sports life and hip hop. Montas definitely got a lather, and he got some playing time, and it showed that he wasn't getting a lot of time. He wasn't getting a lot of time. He wasn't getting a lot of time kind of stubborn at the beginning of the season, and once he started, he had to prove himself. Got the minutes. I found out that Dalen Terry, I know Tay Boy Fresh is going to laugh at me, but he's actually a serviceable role player that can potentially be a 3-and-D guy.
Shout out to the hotties.
Shout out to the hotties.
Do you believe in Dalen Terry more than Pat?
Yes, he's Zona. Why wouldn't I believe him? He's Zona. That's the wrong question. I'm biased. He's a Zona guy. So, but more importantly, Kobe White is a bona fide all-star, and like he surpassed our expectations on what he is. So losing Zach LaVine totally made his game go up. The reins were taken off, and you know what I'm saying, he was free flowing. So combination of that, the Bulls are on the rise, and we're ready to beat Miami, the Heat culture, ready to beat Atlanta. Well, okay, I'll wait for predictions. That's later on in the show.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. So if it sounds to me, I agree with what you said. You said I feel like when the Bulls back into the playoffs with the D Rose and Zach LaVine era, you already know where it's going. How even though the Bulls are in the same position in the play-in, you got a more of a spark. You don't really know where it's going to go, but you feel like you could do some things. So I definitely agree with you there. And if I'm going to summarize what you heard, it sounded like you said the highlight of the season was Kobe White winning player of the week. Player of the month, my bad. So
that sums it up. That one.
That sums it up. Everything I heard. So, fellas, the postseason has started tonight. We have a game on right now. Eastern Conference play-in game 1. 7th seed Orlando Magic versus the 8th seed Atlanta Hawks. I think they're going towards halftime now. Let's go ahead and put that on the screen. So you got the Magic. Magic are thumping them boys. The Magic, they was in the playoffs last year. That was the seventh seed or sixth seed last year. I don't remember. But they was in the playoffs last year. So they got a little playoff experience. Maybe I don't think the Hawks have much other than Trae Young, but he don't have much to begin with either. But they're up by 16 right now, and it is late second quarter.
Yeah, 2 minutes left. 2 minutes and some change.
So the Magic, they did play in the playoffs last year against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Took them to 7. Tate, you think this as somebody who has, I don't know if I want to use the word extensive. You saw your team battle with the squad for 7 games last postseason. I think they're a little bit better this year just because they have the experience in Franz Wagner, his name sounds like a James Bond villain, but him. I think he had a coming out part of this season. Do you think they can give the Boston Celtics some? You can get them the same type of problems they gave the Cavs last postseason?
They gave the Cavs problem because they played tough, and Jared Allen got hurt in like the second game. So Jared Allen's not hurt. It's not as tough a series last year. They play well. They're a better team than they are because of injuries, and their record says because of injuries. I think they have the 2 bigs, not bigs, but wings in Wagner and Banchero that can give Tatum and Brown problems. The problem they're gonna run into is with Porzingis. So I think maybe they can get 2, maybe, but it'd be a tougher series than it would be if they had to play Atlanta. And I'm not sure this game, Atlanta don't make a comeback at some point. I would pick Orlando to win, but it's not going to stay a blowout like this.
Fellas, Detroit, Chicago, you all think, let's say the game stays this way, Orlando wins this game. You all think Boston can win in 6, or how would you see that series going?
I don't see it going 6.
I see a gentleman's sweep. Looking at the matchups,
Orlando ain't got nobody.
Orlando, their offenses ran through Banchero.
The life of Pablo.
And that kind of feeds into the Celtics defense. Like, they got good wings, you know what I'm saying? So the Celtics have good defender wings. So Banchero will get his. They're going to make it tough. Him and Wagner. But as far as defense, Magic have no defense for the Celtics in their 3-point barrage.
Celtics are leaps and bounds ahead of them, but they will throw a game though.
Yeah,
so I can see Orlando getting 1 game.
Yeah, they're good for throwing a game.
They'll be up 3-0 then lose.
Yeah,
you got to punch the Boston Celtics in the mouth one time for them to wake up. They sleepwalk sometimes. Shout out to Jaylen Brown though. Detroit, how do y'all feel about this? That's a mute button. That's a fine.
Oh, I've been running my mouth. I've been trying to. I was like, why aren't they? The Orlando starting point guard is Corey Joseph. Do you remember Corey Joseph? June?
Wait, he starts?
Yeah.
There's
There's no Cole Anthony. There's no Jalen.
Cole Anthony playing.
he's playing. He doesn't start. He's a he's not. They don't trust him with the.
He said there's no Cole Anthony. He's playing.
I didn't say it. Cole Anthony's playing.
I don't see him.
I'm shocked he ain't starting.
Nah, he's a combo. He's not a point guard.
Are you sure Cole Anthony's playing?
Yeah,
he was just.
Yeah, I saw him just a minute ago.
Why is he not on the?
Yeah, he's playing.
Oh, I see it.
Okay. Probably because he's not done nothing.
Corey Joseph is starting though.
Yeah, but Corey, yeah. My point, because I mean, it's Anthony Black. Okay, he's young. They trying to figure out, but the fact
he's terrible
that Corey Joseph is starting, that speaks. Even on the worst Pistons teams, Corey Joseph was a third string point guard. Like that's
Corey Joe is a third string point guard in real life.
Like that, veteran, a voice in the locker room maybe, but that's not who you want to leading your team in the battle in the playoffs. Like
not going against Drew Holiday. No,
right?
He been in 13 years. I know he probably wasn't expecting to start either.
He played with did he play at Texas with KD?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Oh my God. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Don't forget
he was only there 1 year.
Don't forget PJ. PJ's on that squad too. He was the best player on the team.
And he
What? What?
Not that your KD was there, but PJ did win player.
Oh, I thought you were saying with KD was there. You're saying PJ was the best player there.
He did win player. He did win conference player of the year while he was there. Just don't do him.
PJ who?
Coldest shoe game in the world, PJ.
Oh,
PJ Tucker. I thought you were talking about. Did Kevin Durant play? Did they play with TJ Ford? I thought you was alluding to TJ.
No.
That's TJ Ford. Oh no, not that old.
Different Longhorn legend.
Yeah, another one. Damn, he was good.
So we all got Orlando getting dog walked this series. Gentlemen sweep at best. Maybe 2 if they're lucky.
No,
I don't see it.
I'm staying on.
I don't see them winning too.
Yeah, I don't see them winning too.
All right.
Paolo had to go insane. And
And
Jaylen Brown and Tatum would have to be trash.
I wasn't so hard on Corey Joseph. I forgot they was winning. Like that. he leading them.
But that speaks to where we think how far Orlando can go this in the next series. Yes, that's if they win this game. They're able to hold off the Atlanta Hawks. Let's go ahead and take a break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about this division's playoff matchups as they getting ready to start off this weekend. So we get our little playoff preview. You're watching live, you know what to do. Stay wherever you're at. If you're listening on audio, whether that's Spotify or iHeartRadio or Apple Podcasts, go ahead and check out some of our ad partners, and we'll be right back on the other side of those. So you did say Chicago culture versus Heat culture. This is what the second year in a row. Well, definitely second year in a row, but the Chicago Bulls have played the Miami Heat in the play-in. Beat them last year, right? No, did you? I don't remember.
Did we lose to the Heat?
we beat Atlanta, lost to the Heat.
Yeah, that's right. You got something for them this time?
Yeah,
we better this time.
We better this time. I mean,
They don't have Jimmy buckets.
oh, okay. I mean, shivering. All right, Jimmy buckets. What? Let's see. What the Bulls do have is they have more offense. Miami's offense is stagnant a lot of times. I mean, Hero, outside of Hero and Bam is not really a scorer. Outside of Hero, who do they really have to put the ball in the bucket? So, I mean,
Haywood Highsmith.
I'm not worried about him sagging off. He with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about Duncan Robinson because he's very inconsistent. Yeah. I'm not worried about Davion Mitchell. I mean, I'm sagging off him. You can shoot that. He with us. Another guy. He with us. Yeah.
Self-check.
Yeah, you can shoot that. So Hero is really the only guy that I'm worried about. Offensively, the Bulls are more potent, and I think we're gonna never mind. We're good.
I think the Miami Heat are statistically ranked as the worst team in the league as a crunch time performer. Yeah. I think they struggle to get shots in isolation. They struggle to score in any facet, like as you already said, their best player, Bam, is not even an offensive player. And if he has to defend anybody that's bigger than him, we've seen it year in and year out with him. He does shrink in the moment. He's a great defender in space, but defending his position, not so much.
I am concerned about Alec Burks. Like he can go off. Like it's
only one game.
It's only one game, and he's the type of guy that'll go off and have a 29-point, 10 for 19
out the blue.
Yeah, like dude, where did he come from? But Burks is definitely a guy that can perform and score at a high clip.
All right, fellas, Cleveland, Detroit. How do you all see that? See that one game going?
In the coaching category, I edge it to Miami. When you say guys that I worry about scoring, I mean, yeah, Hero is the one guy on the team that is certain to get a bucket. But I don't know. They have a good compilation of players like Vasquez and who else is on that team? I mean,
Say something. You're a liar.
Wow.
You don't believe that, Foster. You don't believe Miami could beat us, dude. You don't believe that, man.
like you said, it's one game. I remember Alec Burks. That was just last year. He was on our team. He was one of our better scorers a lot of times last year. Although he hasn't, I feel like he hasn't done much this year. But
he culture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
you ain't got to. You're cool. You're fighting. You're trying to come up with something to beat the Bulls, dude. You're like, oh man, you're pulling. Oh, Khalil Ware. He's
Shame
going.
on you, Foster. Shame on you.
They have good role players. They just don't have they don't have a star. That's what it comes down to.
No, they got Scary Terry, who's gonna, get the game. Yeah, he's gonna be on our side. He's gonna blow the game.
I don't think Scary Terry. I don't think he's still in the rotation.
He might not. Well, if he's in the game, you know why. Vegas got the call.
Yeah. Miami.
Burks is hurt.
Who?
Burks, he hurt day-to-day back injury.
No, he playing. That's a little pat on the back.
Yeah, you can't be day to day with one game left.
Nah.
There's a thought coming out of Miami that it's better for them to lose this game because they're trying to do some things in the draft. Hint.
Oh wow.
Let's move on past the play-in.
You didn't
Let's
get.
I need to get my take on that. Hold on.
Yeah. Let's see what Tay has to say.
He's been waiting since y'all talked first.
Patiently.
Yeah.
Not one interruption, not nothing. Now, that's what we're saying. I'm talking you specifically. The Cubs and the Reds don't play till like the weekend of Memorial Day weekend. So let's go ahead and put our gentleman's bet on this one game tomorrow that Miami beats y'all.
Oh, what?
Got real quiet. Got real quiet around here.
Wait. Is this toward us or toward Pay?
Pay don't care.
It's towards the Bulls.
Whoever got cash at me and Pay always have standing bets of $25. So I'm just throwing one of them out there. If somebody want to take it.
Where is the Central Division love?
No, I would be rooting for them, but these guys, man, just be going on bump. We want the Cavs. I hope you get your wish for real, because then I'll really probably clean up. Because I'm gonna bet the Bulls don't get one game in that series. But anyway, I think you discrediting
Spicy.
Bam Adebayo.
I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
Yeah. I think you're discrediting Bam when you say he's an all-star. How is he not a star? He's an all-star. How is he not a star? One, Kobe White's a great player. He's a very, very good player. He like the fifth best guard in the Central Division. The fifth. But, I mean, I get the energy, and you say word down in Miami is they might want to poop for Coop. Well, word from y'all directly a month ago was we can't even poop right.
Here we go.
See, so excuse me if I'm just like I'm all over the place. It's because the frustrated Chicago sports fans, Chicago Bulls representatives have been all over the place since March 10th.
What is your view on the game tomorrow? That's what we want.
Didn't I say I will bet on the Miami Heat tomorrow one game? That tells you my view right there.
All right, so everything sort of 90 seconds after that.
I said that first.
Padding. Okay.
Potty training, all that was afterwards.
All right.
Thank you, June.
So we can segue to the actual playoffs now, right? All right, thank you.
He said that in the very beginning, though.
All right, so let's move on to that. So this weekend we do have some playoffs set. The Cavs don't know who they're playing yet, so we won't have anything for them.
Hopefully the Bulls.
Yes, we got that. Hopefully the Bulls. We all want to see the Bulls versus the Cavs, but we do know the playoff settings, the playoff matchups for the Pacers, the Bucks, and the Pistons. And as it relates to the Pistons, you got who you've been looking for. You got the Knicks.
Yeah.
You got the Knicks. How do you all see from a Pacers Pistons, I guess, podcast's perspective, is this the perfect matchup for you guys? For you to end that almost 20-game drought, 20-year drought, I'm sorry, of a playoff series, not winning a playoff series?
I wouldn't say the perfect matchup, but it's a matchup that I feel more comfortable with as opposed to playing the Pacers and the Bucks. Even though a lot of people aren't looking at that last game versus the Bucks, the game before that, we lost to them at home. We just haven't had any good, hadn't had any fair, had a fair showing, too many showings, good showings versus the Bucks or the Pacers this year. And on the other side, we played the Knicks pretty well all season. And I think for some odd reason, Cade his eyes light up when they play the Knicks, and he goes crazy in the last 3 games. I think we're 3-1 for the series this year, Foster, or something like that?
3-1.
And he's been 30 with a triple-double just about every game they won. And it's looking like he's just ready to play the Knicks, and the rest of the team has followed suit. They played well as a whole versus the Knicks in comparison. So I think it's a good matchup, whether they're seeded higher or not. It's a good matchup for us.
I think the Knicks are one of the worst defensive teams of the playoff of the teams that made the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, and that speaks volumes for a team that's coached by Tibbs. They are better offensively than they are defensively, and their offense it all is coming from 2 players: Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. Another thing with the Knicks, they're 0-10 against the 3 best teams in the league. That's Cleveland, Boston, and Oklahoma City.
It's regular season.
Yeah, it's regular season.
It is regular season. You're right. It is regular season, but we all know what Tibbs teams do in the postseason. But we don't know what the Detroit Pistons do in the postseason. Not yet. This is a new crop. So, Foster, this one's coming your way. Do you think the Pistons bully ball, this new iteration of Piston bully ball, can they stifle the offensive attack coming from the New York Knicks?
I think that if we can force them to get into their bench a little bit more, we know that Tibbs likes to run his players into the dirt. They got 3. We got 5. They have 5. They have 3 players that are in the top 5 in minutes per game. That's Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and OG Anunoby. As far as bench scoring, there's not much to make of it. And if we can get some of those starters into foul trouble, I think that they'll be in a bad way. They like to slow things down. They like to muddy up the game. I think that if we can speed them up, we can really wear that team down, because the Pistons can run 9 deep pretty comfortably without much,
I'm sorry, Foster. You don't need 9. You won't be running 9 deep.
You won't be running 9 deep, but I think that you can keep your players fresh. You can keep your players fresh, and you can
playoffs.
Yeah, you don't need freshness in the playoffs.
That's true.
I don't think so.
What part of that is true?
I guess this is your opportunity to empty out the tank. Obviously you're not trying to rest your players around that time, but that's valid. But the one thing that we can attack is the fact that they don't protect the paint very well. They definitely sacrificed a lot of their grit and toughness when they got rid of guys like Randall and Hartenstein and even DiVincenzo. So the Knicks aren't even playing a style of basketball that their coach is comfortable with. Like you said, he's more of a defensive minded coach, and they're trying to outscore teams. So I think the Pistons play a style of basketball that would actually be more comfortable to what he would like. So we'll see. We do have some playoff experience, Beasley's and Harris and Hardaway and maybe a few other guys, but it's kind of tough to say what's going to happen when guys like Cade and Ivy. I didn't mean Ivy because I don't know if Ivy's going to play, but Cade and Stewart and Duran, these guys are brand new to that type of that type of pressure. So we'll just have to see how we look early on.
Do y'all know what happened last time Tibbs and JB met up in the playoffs?
No.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Straight massacre. It's when the Knicks bullied the Cavs 2 years ago. Straight bullied them out of there. So I'm not saying that happened to the Pistons. I think the Pistons are a tougher team, just player for player. I think they're tougher, but that's what Tibbs going to try and do, though.
Yeah, with Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges.
But I mean, we talk about Mitchell Robinson. We talking about, what's his name? Not Adebayo. What's the dude name?
Anunoby.
Anunoby, yeah. I mean, some of them got Josh Hart. Josh Hart killed them that year.
Josh Hart went crazy.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that's what they're going to try and do. I say it's going to work. I just was throwing that Tibbs versus JB stat in there.
All right, so around the room, how do we see this series going? Who's winning?
I'm going.
I got the Pistons.
Pistons in 6.
Pistons in 6. All right.
I got Knicks in 7. I think that, and Zeke will tell you that my logic in the NBA is that you got to take your lumps, and so Cade and them, this is their first time getting in the playoffs. They gotta take some lumps. They gotta take the L's. It's a learning curve. You can't just come in the playoffs and pearl on mugs. Like that ain't happening. So you gotta have some adversity. This is their adversity year, and I think the Knicks will take them in 7. It'll be close.
I respect that.
The Pistons got to build up a lather, a playoff lather. What
Gotta
we
build
saying?
up a playoff ladder.
And I respect that. And
for sure.
And respectfully, I'd like to change my vote. I think Miami's going to win tonight.
There you go. Talk to him.
You can't win.
Zeke, how you got this series?
Yeah. Shout out to my cousin Larry though. Go Knick fan, big time Knick fan.
Shout out to Larry, man. Go.
I had Knicks.
You got what? What was that?
He said he had the Knicks, man.
Knicks in 5. Okay, that's what I heard. Knicks in 5.
Hey, but I mean, so again, I agree with everything Rick said about you got to take your lumps and stuff. Yeah. But that's to get to the pinnacle. That ain't always in the first round.
No. You still have to go through it. Like it doesn't matter.
You do gotta go through it. But I think the Knicks is capable. False named off some of the veterans that they have played in the playoffs before. They got quite a few on the team. I mean, I don't even know that he mentioned Hardaway, Tim Hardaway Jr.
I didn't want to go here with the Pistons, but I'll ask y'all. Who is y'all second scorer? Who is something that y'all gonna depend on?
Malik Beasley.
Man, come on, dude. Come on, man.
The most threes in the whole league. Steph Curry and all those.
I think Ant Edwards.
Yes, Ant Edwards took 18 threes against the Utah Jazz, and he begged his coach in order to do that.
Right, so Ant Edwards does have.
Man, I feel attacked. Okay.
Hold on. If y'all break down the matchups, you got. Who's the best out of the both teams? Who's the best player out of both teams?
Cade
is better than Jalen Brunson.
Wait. Is that obvious though?
Who's the next best?
Head to head. Pause. Can Brunson?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Can he check?
Karl Anthony Towns is the best player in this series, but keep going.
That's fair.
I'll go with Brunson or Cat. You know what I'm saying? Either or. And this is the playoffs. We don't know what Cade is going to bring you.
What has Cat done in the playoffs?
That's a fair question.
What has Dalen Terry done? But he's going to be a 3-and-D defensive stopper in the playoffs.
He ain't took no lumps. Let's start. Let's start, damn it.
He wasn't even the best player in Arizona.
He didn't even have a bar.
Typically in the NBA playoffs, the team with the best player typically wins 9 out of 10 times. If we all agree Karl Anthony Towns is the best player, then we can also all agree that this series is going to get tossed up.
LeBron lost 6 finals when he was the best player in the series. 6.
Talk to him, Tate.
LeBron don't play in this Central Division.
Go.
All right, so
anymore.
But you need the best
The
player
other-
win series.
I'd say 9 out of 10 times the best player in the series will win the series. So obviously there's some times in which it doesn't happen. So we can say this series is going to be a toss-up because the Knicks has their question. The Pistons are green, and the Knicks have their issues.
I know you want to go on to that. Y'all really believe in Beasley as your second in command. Y'all really believe that.
I mean,
I believed in it as we ran
wrong
through
with
New
it?
York all this year. I mean,
What's
did.
wrong with it though? We've been winning with that.
I mean, I put it to you. I mean, he's not your prototypical. He doesn't even start. If we're being real,
Real talk, right?
Is Detroit second option better than Chicago second option?
Why are you talking about Chicago, man?
I don't know what it is.
About Detroit, New York, man. Come
We
on.
talking about central teams, right? That's what I just got told.
We were breaking down Detroit and New York, man. Now you want to come all
The other playoff
Hell.
series in this
You want to come out. Of popcorn stand.
we got the Indiana Pacers against the Milwaukee Bucks. I said about a month or so ago that I had no faith in the Bucks catching the Pacers in the standings. The Pacers, quiet as kept, they've got the 4th best record in all of the NBA since the calendar changed from 2024 to 2025. They were 30 and 12 in that span since January 1st to now. One of the better offenses in the league. And Tyrese Halliburton, I know we all got on Tyrese Halliburton's case after the Olympics where he barely got off the bench and he started slow. He's been a baller all second half of the season.
Yeah.
The Bucks, as we all know, they're coached by Glenn. I don't know if there's been an update to Dame Dollars, if his status has been updated to where he'll be playing. I think that's still up in the air.
He's not playing
And-
first round.
Yeah.
He's not playing first round, so he's not going to
They
play in the
still
playoffs. 'cause-
stringing along like he coming back. I don't think he can.
All right.
Unless
It
they
sounded to me like he's not going to play in the playoffs at all because I've got the Pacers winning this series. You all feel any different?
Giannis with
about-
more bad luck.
You all feel any different about that series, or how do you all see it?
I got the Pacers.
I don't think Giannis can do it by himself.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, best player typically wins the series, right? I mean that's been a staple. Giannis would be the best player in that series. However, we've seen Giannis in the playoffs, man. I mean, other than 2021, he's come up short a lot. So
He's been hurt a lot, almost every year.
That's his MO. I can't. I mean,
But you
if
say,
if always
but
gonna
you
be
say
hurt, then
short
he-
like he playing terrible, like he coming in the playoffs and not playing terrible.
He has played beneath himself before as well. He's been hurt and he's played beneath himself. There hasn't been other than 2021, there hasn't been a rise to the occasion from him that I've noticed.
Can Giannis put the team on his back though? Honestly, real talk. Like,
when have you seen it other than 2021?
He's healthy.
Who's the best player? Giannis. Then who's next?
I'm not.
Halliburton. Then who else? It ain't another Buck.
I can't take my
Unless
Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, I would take Kyle.
maybe Kuzma will step up.
Oof, if you depended on Kyle Kuzma,
Yeah, I know.
it's out. It's
know.
out there.
I just talk mess about Beasley.
Siakam. Wait, hold on. Siakam was probably the 3rd best.
Yeah.
I would take Siakam.
By the way,
Kuz.
his nickname is terrible. I don't.
Oh,
like
what is it? I don't even know.
Spicy P. I don't like
No,
that.
no, we don't do that. No.
That is crazy.
That's his
Wasn't
rap.
wasn't that somebody naming Drew Hill or something?
I don't think so, man. Wrong R&B group.
Baltimore guys, I wouldn't put it past the Baltimore guys. Do be kind of
Oh,
Baltimore
Hey
guys.
man,
Baltimore.
cats get paid. Why would you say cats from Baltimore can fight, bro?
Everybody from everywhere can fight. That's what everybody always say. I'm from fill in the blank. I don't. Okay, so what?
Pay gonna be in Baltimore in July,
Uh-oh.
but
You want them waiting for me outside?
He's lining
BWI?
up cakes for you.
You gonna wait for me? I mean, I'm going over there to get my crab cake from I forget the name of the place. So they'll see me. And I'm going to Baltimore to walk through the Po Homes. I'm getting me a picture with that orange couch. So if anybody want to catch me, I'll be right there.
They said they got mumbo sauce for you.
All right,
That's DC, man.
So
I know. I wanted to say it though.
relax. So I think the Pacers winning that series. The Pacers have been on some different time ever since the calendar switched over, which will put the Pacers, because we all think the Cavaliers are going to get to the second round. I mean, 64 wins. I don't think there's ever a 64 win team has never lost in the first round. So Cavaliers will be in the second round.
So we don't have to talk about them. So we don't have to talk about them. But the Pacers, can I give my take on that series?
This is the
Man, I seen the begin. I seen not didn't give me open the act no more. I'm just passed over. But hey, as far as that series go, man, and I'm gonna stick to it because I have to take integrity, unlike some of my fellow podcasters on the show. I picked the Pacers to regress at the beginning of the season. I'm sure y'all remember that.
Yes.
So regression would be not making it to the next round. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, right? They won one more game they did this year. One more game because the Cavs gave a 27-point lead, the bench players. But still, besides that, the Pacers going to take a regression, take a step back. Giannis going to carry the Bucks to a win solo by himself.
Yeah, he could get one.
Yeah, get one. Yeah.
Maybe two.
Yeah, okay. Nah, he going to carry them to a win in the series by himself.
Yeah, one win, meaning Pacers in 5, right?
No, the Bucks are going to win the series.
Oh, I like that.
We shall see. I expect to see the Cavaliers versus the Pacers in the second round.
Oh, I'd love that.
To which, I mean, I'm sure you would. I think if we had a Pacers representative on here, they probably would love it as well. Seeing the Pacers did since January 1st, they've won 3 out of 4 against Cleveland.
Man, the two games we didn't play none of our last 2 games. Just the third to last 2 of the last 3 games we played the Pacers with no starters except Jared Allen for a quarter. So we can count them because it's part of the record, but it don't matter in the big picture, Pay.
Okay.
Hey, Tate, you know what you didn't mention? I was surprised you didn't real talk like that. DeAndre Hunter for y'all, that trade was big. Oh,
that was big. Yeah, that was big.
Hey, yo.
Seriously, like DeAndre Hunter, like he is a blessing to y'all.
I kind of forgot about him.
Nah, you can't forget about
Yeah.
DeAndre, man. He been killing.
Yeah, he's a piece, a necessary piece for this playoff run, and he's a piece moving forward. He makes guys like Dean Wade and Strus and some of the other guys expendable. You know what I mean? As far as Cleveland goes.
All right, so that was the Central Division playoff preview. Let's expand the scope real fast. Real quick. One upset in all of the playoffs that you see so far. Do you see any upsets, and which one? Where is it at?
I'll go first. Give me Dubs versus the Rockets.
So the Golden State they win their play-in game and they play the Rockets in the first round, 2 versus 7. Okay, again, got to take your lumps, right, Houston? All right,
Houston got to take their lumps. They haven't besides Van Fleet, they have no playoff experience. That team is new. That's
Right.
a neo. They're neo. They're new, brand new baby.
I like that one. I think that's a popular pick amongst talking heads. Anybody else? Because I've heard the Timberwolves over Lakers too.
I think I got Clippers over Denver.
That's not an upset.
It's not.
It's 4 and 5.
They got the best player in the league, Jokic.
Okay, I mean, the Clippers have been quietly doing their thing. A lot of people are doing that thing.
I don't really trust picking them, but they've been.
Yeah, I mean, it's the
good.
Clippers, right? I get it.
It's Harden.
Yeah, and they got Harden and Kawhi. three untrustworthy in the playoffs. Any more?
Yeah, I like the Golden State one. That one's pretty. Doesn't even sound like a upset really, because Curry and Butler and but
Right. Nobody here believes in Houston, right? Even though they second, nobody believes in it.
I think they can get
It's
somebody
for
some
it's
trouble.
for the same reason that Rick said about the Pistons. Same reason. They had no lumps. I don't know who outside Van Fleet, who they got on their team. They got
Now
experience.
the Pistons have way more experience than the Rockets.
That's what I said. Outside of Van Fleet, who got experience from the Rockets?
Uncle Jeff Green.
Green. I was gonna say Green, one of them old.
Green,
and Udoka.
And Jeff Green ain't playing. If he playing, there's something wrong.
That's a problem. Yeah. You got a lot of you got Sengun,
And
Green,
no
yeah.
playoff.
Young Green, yeah.
They
Tyree.
don't have the experience, but they do got the talent.
They
they
I
do.
can see that.
Yeah,
And the coaching. And the coaching.
Yeah, and the coach. Yeah,
That's the main thing.
Yeah,
That coaching.
but you can't. I mean, I'm not going against Steph Curry in 7-game series.
Yeah, I got to roll with you on that one. I would say, but I can't say it was my sleeper pick, but because who they passed up with in the first round, I would have said the Timberwolves, but they playing the Lakers now, and I root for the Lakers, so I don't want to pick the that'd be a real good series though. But I still would pick the Lakers.
Can I ask y'all this real quick? My bad, Pay. Like, what's the most intriguing matchup outside of your respective team? What's the matchup y'all really looking at?
Oh, Knicks Pistons for me.
Pay.
Yeah.
No, I think I would like to see the Lakers Timberwolves. I'm really interested in that.
I'm interested.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
And them fought their way back into the playoffs, so I
5
want to see if they can do.
Yeah, that I'm with you, Pay. That T-Wolves and Lakers, that's box office stuff, and you're gonna have a lot of clippings for that one. It's gonna be a lot of trash talking.
Yeah. The Heat, I mean, the height with Timberwolves is going to give the Lakers some issue, but we want to see if those stars, the Lakers got 2 of them, they can pull it out. No diddy.
Hey,
yo.
2-7 Rockets and Warriors.
Hey.
That's the best.
Yeah, it's down to 7 now, Pay.
Oh, yeah.
Great segue. I was trying to get back here. All right, so let's check back in on that play-in game that's going on now. The Magic, they have a 7-point lead. It's just in the third quarter.
Hold the lead too long.
All right. While we got the game up right here, man, I did want to ask a question. The Orlando Magic, they won their division and they're in the play-in game. Do we? I know we talked about this in football because you Detroit Lions guys, you guys, your team went up there to the owners' meetings and got the belly aching about division winners, they shouldn't be automatic, playoff. Do we think a team that won a division should be shouldn't they have an automatic playoff berth?
You get a banner for winning your division, right?
You do.
You should be able to get an automatic bid in the playoffs.
Mm.
Well,
I thought you were going to say, be happy with that.
No.
If that happened, you know who would be out potentially?
Oh,
The Heat.
Chicago.
no.
The Heat would be, but if Chicago that close, knows what I'm saying.
Well, but
But I'm just happy all the Central Division teams made it. They should have a better record. I mean, you can't be under 500 and think, oh, we belong in the playoff. Though it happens in football, like you're saying, football's a different sport. You get 82 opportunities in the NBA.
Right.
they are a 500 team. They won 41.
In college basketball, since Pay went to another sport, in college basketball, when you win your conference tournament at the end of the year, don't you get an automatic bid in the NCAA?
You do.
So if I win my division, I can't get an automatic bid. I won my division. That's a long tenure, rigorous, played an 82-game season, but I won my division. I should.
So your seeding shouldn't matter.
I didn't say he didn't ask seeding. He said, "Should you get an automatic bid?"
So that affects somebody though. That's it's a trickle down somewhere.
It does, but I mean, I won my division.
I won my division, but I probably got torched by the West, and I probably got torched by the Central too. So I don't know.
I think at the end of the day, just like with the college football, we want to see the best teams. You don't want to see no scrub 38 and 44 team that won a division be in the playoffs.
Unless they play in.
I don't know about a team winning 38 games and winning a division. I mean, that's
Right, I'm about to say
I mean, they won
historically bad.
41. They won
Yeah,
41.
40 or 500 team. They
What's the worst
they
record
were.
you can have and still win your division, because you can't be like
I mean,
still win your
I mean,
division.
mathematically, if you win your division, I mean, that's only good for. Let's say you sweep your division. That's 16
Right.
wins. That's it.
Right.
Oh,
So I
okay.
mean,
So you can kill your division and be just trash versus everybody else and make it because you, that's kind of crazy. That could look crazy.
Yeah.
So what is so what if the Bulls won? I mean, or the Hawks won?
Oh, here
one
we
more
go.
game? No. I read it wrong. What if the Hawks won one more game, and they was 41-41, or the Orlando lost one more game, they was 40-42 like the
I
Hawks?
believe
They deserve it?
I believe the tiebreaker would still go to Orlando since they have a 12-4 division record.
Oh, they probably would then. So in football, head to head come first, right? Pause. Head to head matters first.
Yeah.
So I wonder what's the record head to head between the Magic and the Hawks.
And they played twice in April, 1-1. They played. They had the other time they played in February, split 2-2.
Okay. So it would come down to division record.
Yeah. So I mean, I see it. I see it both ways. No Diddy. So I feel like there has to be a reason why there is a division. If you're going to make divisions, then make it mean something. And if me winning a division doesn't be anything more than just getting a banner, then what's the point of having it, right? If I win this division, I should get something for it. I should get something tangible, i.e., a playoff berth. Now on the flip side,
like that, yeah.
On the flip side, it does take away from it if my division, because every now and then you will have divisions that are trash. Like the Southeast Division this year. I mean, you got tanking Nets, you got tanking 76ers, abysmal Hornets, and god awful Wizards. I mean,
terrible.
Yeah, and then the Raptors in there too. So they traded for Brandon Ingram, then gave him a long-term deal. Like, they're terrible. So I mean, it's not the Orlando Magic's fault that they play in that division.
But it's their fault that they made the plan because they didn't win enough games to reach the 6th spot.
I mean, true. So I do see it. I do see it from each way, but I just feel like, hey, look, man, if I got a Y by my name in the standings, man, I should be in the playoffs. I should be having to do this one game rigmarole with the Atlanta Hawks.
But that means that they got to play those worst teams more, so they got more padding in their schedule.
That's not true. It's only 16 games. You play your conference the same amount of teams. Everybody in the conference you get 4.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Well, and on the flip side of that as well, when you're a 7th seed, you get 2 cracks at making the playoffs, and they're at home. If you can't win 2 games at home, you know what I'm saying, win and go home, you shouldn't
win one of two.
Yeah, you only need one of 2, but both games are
one,
on your home court. So if Orlando loses, they still got a home game against whoever wins between Miami and the Bulls. Like, dude, that's 2 tries for you to win 1 game at home. That's not impossible for you to get a 7th seed or 8th.
I don't like that you 7th and you could still possibly lose, be out the playoffs.
You got 2 cracks to lose.
I understand they get a roll, but you 7th.
You 7 with 2 games at home. You can't win 2 games. You shouldn't go with 2 games. If you lose 2 games at home, you shouldn't be in the playoffs.
I would concur with Rick. At the same time, though, the NBA did this. They added this about 3 years ago now, maybe 4. I like it. It makes it more intriguing.
It does make it.
You get more matchups. You get more door ticket money. You get everything. It makes it better.
And it makes you try to get, like, it was a big deal to us when we solidified the 6th spot. That was like, so you got to earn. Yeah,
we're in. Yeah,
because it took us a while to for a while we knew that we was probably we had created enough space between Orlando and us when we knew, but that's what we played for.
And ultimately it stopped tanking. Teams in that mix, They stopped tanking. I mean, so they in the division with all the tank teams. Orlando is. Toronto. Who else you said?
Toronto,
Washington.
Washington, Charlotte, Philly.
Three of the worst teams in the league. They won a division. They got three of the worst teams outside the New Orleans Pelicans. Three of the worst teams in the league. They need to be the play-in.
I agree.
They didn't. Their record isn't bolstered by those teams. Now, an argument would be
You said they were 12-4 in their division. It is bolstered by them.
It's only 16 games out of 82.
But 12-4 is a 75% win clip in your division. It's kind of not quite as bad as when the Patriots played the AFC East every year.
They're 31-21 at the crib. They were 500. Well, hold on. They were 22-19. Oh, 22-19 at home. I'm sorry. They were 31-21 in the conference. Right. So
because they got 12 wins off them other teams.
I guess we all played them though, right?
Yes.
Not 16 times, boss. Not 16 times, you don't.
We just went over that. Everyone in the Eastern Conference plays everyone in the Eastern Conference four times
regardless.
Everyone got the same
I don't
stats
think you're right, Pay.
Okay, go ahead. Look, you got to look that up because
I'm taking their word for it. I don't know.
You got to look that up because it's been like that for more than 20 years.
Hey, Tate, you called it. Atlanta came back, dude.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's making them look smart right now.
Yeah. Came back.
I'm just saying, man. Like I would prefer it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because again, if you got two cracks at it at the crib, you should be able to take that home if they were worthy. Last look in at this game. It is a 3-point game. Orlando up by 3, late third against the Atlanta Hawks.
It's the Corey Joseph effect. I'm telling you.
Oh wow.
I'm just saying.
Detroit Pistons. You all usually post-game podcast. You all usually have your Pistons weekly recap on Saturday mornings. What do you have in store for everybody now as you're previewing a playoff team for the first time in 10 years?
Yeah, Saturday we're gonna have our usual show, but this time it's a playoff pregame. So looking forward to that. It's just good to be in the playoffs, man.
Congrats.
Thanks. Last year was miserable. I was miserable last year. I didn't even know if I wanted to podcast at some point in the season last year. But one thing I did notice is, when you're losing, you do have material. You do have stuff to talk about. So, and you can find us on Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube. That's where you'll find post game podcast. That's where you'll find our show Saturday. And I'm pretty sure if there's a win Saturday, Foster will have a buzz and go live after the game. I'm willing to bet that he will. And that game's in New York, he definitely will be online.
The Bleachers to Speakers, all their information is in the details of the show. So if you want to shoot them a follow, this show will be broadcast exclusively on that channel next Monday, as a matter of fact. Also, the audio version, the podcast, is found anywhere you get your podcast fix: iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and all the rest. For the Cavaliers, you all find out who you all play at some point probably by Thursday. You should know who the 8th seed is.
That game's Friday, right? I mean, that's when you'll
Friday?
know. Because the other 4 teams play tomorrow, then the
Right.
2 teams is left play on Friday.
Right. Okay. So by Friday, after Friday, Cavaliers should know who they got in the first round. So I'm assuming that first game would be Sunday. We already know who the Cavaliers, who they prefer to play. But where would we get any where would we get your, I guess, preview or breaking down of how much you think you're going to sweep the Bulls by? Where is that podcast found? Tate.
That's Rather Cavalier podcast is found on the Fans First Sports Network. Cleveland, That's Rather Cavalier podcast on audio. We sometimes every third week run on the Know It Alls YouTube channel where all of us guys get together and talk about, just like we had this show, was just was airing on the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan this evening. I'll get to be the production manager and get the headline myself, because by that time we'll probably be deep into the second round. We won't have a whole lot of podcasts, not a lot to report. We may do a podcast after the first round win. So, I don't feel the need to do one after every game because we expect to win. We're the Cavaliers. So, check us out, though, on the That's Rather Cavalier FFSN podcast channel. We might surprise you with some basic breakdowns, player breakdowns, matchup breakdowns, but not too much getting to the game. We expect to win them all in the first round.
That's a very modest take, Tate.
Sports Life and Hip Hop. You guys got a lot going on, man, this week. Well, this time of year. So I know you two, Zeke, Ricky Schwade, and my boy Channel 7. I know you're gonna have something to say about the NBA playoffs, because I know I speak to Channel 7 all the time. He's gearing up. He's ready. He said he's getting all his binging done now so he can focus in on the playoffs in Vegas. But where can you all be found at?
We're at SLHH Pod on IG. We're about to get back into TikTok.
4 years as a Korean dermatologist, yet no one.
Wrong button, Zeke. Wrong button.
That was mine. I was like,
That was mine.
At Sports Life Hip Hop on TikTok. We're on YouTube, Sports Life and Hip Hop. We're trying to be everywhere, man.
Yeah, we got cakes and stuff showing, cakes and buns and all type of stuff. We also probably do an art show in the coming month, and some car shows within the coming month. But we also got we're going to talk about the Bulls game. Before I continue, I'm going to put a bet out to my podcast brethren, Tate, and put a David Robinson versus Miami Heat, since you want
nifty.
We putting up a David Robinson that the Bulls will beat the Heat for what I'm saying, to get
Okay. That's a bet. I'm gonna put my cash app in your IG.
Yo, I don't do payment plans. You know what I'm saying? I don't do. I only got $10 here.
Hey,
I ain't gonna disrespect you. I'm gonna assume that
Can't nobody on this podcast vouch for me right now except Mr. Pay. So I'll let Pay tell you how I get down.
No, that's cool.
I would have already told my homie Rick that, hey, don't do it. if I thought you wasn't good for it, I would already told him not to.
No, we're gonna do a David Robinson.
Fair.
David Robinson piece, $50 for those that don't know
the
church.
nifty. Yeah, as we say in Chicago, nifty.
The nifty.
We got Bulls coming up. We're gonna talk about the Bulls. I'm actually gonna go to the game tomorrow. Check it out.
Thanks, Tim.
That's what
So we done bet too.
A vouch for Tate. I don't know you, Tim, so you know what I'm saying.
Hey, Tim is all right, man.
No, he might be all right. I just another.
He just said I vouch for him, but he done paid me on the bet. That's what he's saying. Not that he paid me, that I paid him.
Right.
But he's paid me too.
Well, I do know when we see Cleveland, you know what I'm saying, we're not going to want to go to Cleveland, because who wants to go to Cleveland?
Shout out Joakim Noah.
Joakim Noah. Who wants to go to Cleveland? But we're going to make a series of it. It's not sweet. But
Tate said y'all wasn't going to get a game, so.
Right now I'm saying Junior not even going to be there. So there went that bet.
Like I said, I got the David Robinson. I can only focus on tomorrow. We're go from
That's
there.
right. Me too. So
Spicy like
if
Siakam.
if I lose the Nifty tomorrow, then just on to the next bet, right? That's how you do it. On to the next one.
Double enough.
That's what the homie Hobart said, right? On to the next one.
Yeah.
Bet it back. Like
Double
Rico said, paid in full. Bet it back. Bet it back.
Double up.
R. Kelly said that. We're not going there.
Yeah, we don't want to see what he's
Hey yo.
Great show, fellas. Next week, we'll come back next Monday. This will be broadcast on the Bleachers and Speakers platform. Find it anywhere you get your YouTube fix. We'll be doing exactly what we just did. No longer previewing the postseason. We're talking about playoff ball. Everyone have a yes, right. Shout out to Rick Pitino. Oh, that's Jim Mora, but shout out Rick Pitino. Shout out him too. Antoine Walker's not walking through that door. All right, everybody. Have a great one. And shout out to Jackie Robinson.
Shout out to Jackie, definitely. Is that Boston Antoine Walker or Miami Heat Antoine Walker?
I couldn't tell you.
Chicago Antoine Walker. He ain't walking through that door. Can't fit through it.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow.
Thanks for listening to this latest edition from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Whether you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And all my homies from Chicago, we say three things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.